Very, very strange signal, Captain. Very strange.
On screen, on the main viewer.
Captain. Put him on screen.
Wow. That is... What am I looking at? Talk about a strange signal. Man, look at that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome out there. I'm probably doing this at the wrong time of night. 2 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Or a Sunday morning. Yeah, Saturday night. I mean, I can't even keep track of time. That's okay. I gotta get this all set up again. Okay, that's that. Oh, not that. Back here. Oh, I hope everyone out there is having a good Saturday night. I know I did. I went to work for a few hours, came home. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Hey, it's going good, buddy. I got the link up there if you want to jump on. Should I do the red alert or the live on air? We'll do live on air, because why not? We're just going to call it a fresh start, Daniel. Fresh start. I saw your question. I do have some of the stuff from the other channel. Not everything, obviously. But like all the assets, like the avatars and the backgrounds and music, all that good stuff. I got all that stuff. And I do have some of the old videos. I could throw them back together real quick and put them up there. You know what I forgot to do, though? I forgot to set it up to where I hear that beep in the background if somebody comes on. Maybe that's in the settings. I guess it's... must authenticate. Oh, okay. Play a sound when guess enter. Yes, okay. Oh, hey, yep, I heard that. Yes, I heard it. Yay. Okay, cool. So that works. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
All right.
We're just calling it a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
I still got the Twitch channel, which has basically 0 people subscribed to it anyways. So I figured, you know what, we'll just restart this channel. We'll start them both at 0. And, you know, if Twitch takes off because of it, so be it. You know? I don't. So what you been up to?
No, pretty much nothing.
Just chilling? Yeah. How was your Saturday night?
It's okay. I feel mellow.
That's good. Glad. Nice to hear that you're not upset about anything. Did I know I shared this on Twitter and on Discord. I'm guessing because I don't know. I know you're sub, but to this channel, but I don't know if did you get a notification for it from YouTube?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's how I got here. Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure they're doing their jobs. So, I bought a few games tonight. You'll never guess how much I got Battlefield 5 Definitive Edition for.
What? $10?
Less than $3.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, on a game. Yeah, on Xbox. It's like 90% off right now. Mm-hmm. At least until, well, when I got it before midnight, so, and it said 2 days left, so I don't know. It might end like this time tomorrow night, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing it'll be like whatever time the sale ends, be like 5 a.m., right? Because Xbox is Microsoft are out in California, right? So. I'm surprised Suzanne isn't here. I know she's subbed up to the channel.
Wait, did I post a link for Fist of Fury on the Discord?
Let me look. What channel would it have been in for?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I posted a lot of things.
I know.
There's
like under game stuff or chit chat.
I posted it. Yeah. I posted it on the private chat and also the Discord. Yeah.
There's Nemesis.
Now I'm posting the link for it's on YouTube. Like there's Fist of Fury 2. It's free on YouTube.
Okay.
I actually downloaded this to my hard drive. It's really good.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, you know what I gotta do, Daniel? Before I forget, because it's a new channel, I gotta do this. There you go, Daniel. Now you can put links in. Because I gotta remember to add my moderators back.
Yeah.
So if you want to put that link in the chat over here, yeah, go ahead, go for it, bud.
Yeah, sure. 1 second, I gotta.
Or maybe I can just copy and paste it over. Well, how about this?
So
Copy.
yeah,
there we go. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, it's right here. It's on Daily Motion. Fist of Fury 1 is on Daily Motion, and Fist of Fury 2 is on YouTube. I posted the links to both of them on the private chat, and my God, those are really good movies. My God, I mean, how can movies from the 70s be way better than movies of today? I mean, like Fist of Fury 1971, way better than the crap they churn out today.
Well, yeah. I mean, you gotta look at the audience they're playing to now too. The audience they're playing to now has like the attention span of a mosquito, right? So.
Yeah, definitely. From what I heard, that's exactly what someone told me one time. He's like, "Oh, today the attention people have an attention span of a gnat."
Yeah, basically, yeah. They're not wrong either. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay, cool. So I got the link for the one movie here. Let's see if it goes. Oh, there we go. Yep. Okay. So that's the link you were talking about for Fist of Fury 2.
Mm-hmm. I could give this. I could give this to like Suzanne if you want me to give it to her.
Sure. I put it on, like I said, Twitter and Discord, but if you can DM her, yeah, that'd be great. Or I don't know if I can, I don't have any way to get hold of PvP or because he's got that weird setup. So I guess he can only like I don't even know if he can get DMs.
Yeah.
Because he's just I don't know, he's got it set up weird the way he does it. So that's working. All right, there we go. That's better. Just cleaning up some of my tabs in the Chrome browser. Oh, so yeah, so I got the Battlefield 5. Um, they had the complete Walking Dead series for Telltale Games on sale for $15, and it was the like the enhanced version. And included like all 4 seasons. Uh, the one with what was her name? Clementine, and then it had the 400 days, and it also included the Michonne, whatever her name. I don't know how to say her name.
Michonne.
Yeah, and it had that one. So I had all those for $15. All episodes of all those games.
Yeah.
What was the other one I got? Oh, I got the Ghostbusters game.
It's supposed to take place after 3 or something. No, after 2. After 2.
Yeah, after 2. Basically, it's considered like the
sequel.
Yeah, the third movie, basically. Just like the just like the Back to the Future Telltale game is considered the fourth movie of the Back to the Future franchise.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, they don't say it's non-canon. Nobody says it's non-canon.
Right, exactly. No. Because that game is completely canon. And the Ghostbusters, it's the remastered one, the one that came out way back when, but yeah.
So. Yeah, I should have got that. At the time, I should have got that because that looks really, really interesting. But now there's no way for me to get it.
Oh, it's on Xbox right now. It's on sale for like $10.
Yeah, but I can't find it anywhere. Like they don't sell it anymore unless I go to a used game store.
Oh, what system are you playing on?
Right now, right now I have a PS3, but I don't touch it anymore because, it's on PS3, but I just don't touch my PS3 anymore. But I do have a Switch.
I'm not sure if it's on Switch. And I know what you mean about trying to find, PS3 games are almost impossible to find anymore. Like 360 games are a little more common just because they sold the PS3 by leaps and bounds. But I've got a ton of 360 games in a box over here. And it's nice. All I got to do is pop it into my Xbox, and it'll download the game from the game store. So, Which, I mean, that's how the Xbox One works anyways. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure the Series X is the same way, but I haven't had the money to buy the new generation console yet. Because they're a little expensive.
Yeah. Man, I miss the good old days when like remember when the GameCube came out in 2001? It was $199.
Yeah, I've got a GameCube here, actually. I need to get a capture card.
Yeah, the
You
GameCube
know that-
is like the best Nintendo system.
You know what I have for it? Like, I only got a couple games, but the one big game I have for it is the original Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh yeah, that's a really. I have that for the GameCube. It's really good.
Yep. What else did I get? I got Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the Chaotic Great Edition, which is like the game with all the DLCs. That was only $13. It's normally a $90 game. Like, well, shit, for 13,
Yeah.
I might as well, right? I mean, they're still charging $90 normally for the game and all the DLC. What else did I get? Yeah, those are the 4 games I got that I bought. I mean, I had a little extra money, and I'm like, you know what? They're on sale, so why not, right? So, and that Ghostbusters doesn't go on sale that often, so it's normally $30. I got it for 10, so that's a pretty good deal. Plus, I figure it's something that I can probably stream online towards Halloween season.
Yeah.
Oh, that and the Walking Dead games too. I mean, yeah, there's some good Halloween stuff there. I've still got my I've got my Nightmare on Elm Street collection. I've got all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And with the laptop, now I can just throw the DVD in the laptop, do a watch party that way. I thought more people I'm sure more people are up. So I thought more people would head over here. There's so many people that, I mean, I sub to some people, but I gotta. Oh yeah, Mikey and Gorilla and Jim.
Yeah, I missed Mikey's stream today. They were reviewing the TOS episode Eloy of Troyes, something, I don't know.
Oh, Elon. Yeah, Elon of Troyes. Yeah.
I missed it because I was at the time I was resting and I fell asleep. And I said to myself, you know what? Okay, I fell asleep around like 1 or 2, and they went on at 5. And I said, okay, I'm going to be up by maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'd catch it. But I woke up at 7, and they were already done.
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour stream. But yeah, I went to work at 5. So yeah. Yeah. And I'm working 11 to 4 tomorrow, so I'll have a day shift tomorrow, so that'll be nice. Be home in the evening. Might do a little stream after I get home and get dinner done. I don't know, what do you think? About 5 or 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, you think people will be up and around?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 or 6, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Looking for something to do on a Sunday night before they get ready for the work week.
Mm-hmm.
or the week in general, I should say. I know there's a few people that don't work, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Now, the one girl that they hired after I stayed home to take care of the missus, I guess she hurt her back, so she's not working at our store or her other job. So I'm picking up all the extra hours I can get.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? It's half a block away. I only work when, the kid is here. So if anything happens, he can call me. Because I don't like to leave her alone. So. So you don't really game a lot. You just have your PS3. You said.
Yeah. My PS3 is collecting dust, and I'm trying to. I'm not playing my Switch very much because I don't know. I got this habit, I want to preserve it so I don't touch it. I never touch it, but I gotta start playing it again. But it's just that I like the computer because it's so interesting. The computer sucks up all my attention.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, like with games on it, or just online?
Well, no, just like reading articles and watching videos.
Oh, surfing the web, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. I know. Oh man, like 10 years ago, it took up all my time too. But it's amazing how life changes. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's right next to me now that I got the laptop. I just, between just scrolling through my phone and watching something on YouTube while I'm making sure she's all taken care of, I used to do like almost strictly PC gaming and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's been so long since I've done that. Of course, that was back when you could build a tower and game on it for 5-6 years before even having to start to worry about upgrading it.
Yeah.
And then swap out a couple parts here and there, and then after 10 years, switch out the motherboard and upgrade it completely. It's still using the same tower, but now it's like every 6 months they got something different coming out and it used to be everything used to be so compatible, but now it's like, no, you need this for that and this for that. It's like, oh, come on. You're going back to the way it was in the 80s. It's crazy. And the prices nowadays aren't helping anything.
Yeah, I thought the price goes down over time, but no, it goes up.
Yep. What was that one scale? It's some kind of scale that said, what is it? Every 6 months or a year or something like that, that the like all the computational power of computers would double, like every 6 months or so. Yeah, something that came out back in a long time ago. But
That is so cool.
But it seems like that's almost like reaching the end of its cycle.
Well, you don't think it'll go up like a lot longer?
I mean, incrementally, but have you noticed how incrementally, like, the increments are getting smaller and smaller from one upgrade to the next? You know what I mean? Like with processors and memory and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I see these articles about quantum computing. Yeah, that's great, but I don't think the average person can have a cryogenic plant in their house to house a quantum computer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, back when.
Why would it need a cryogenic Like
to keep it cool.
yeah. Oh, it needs to be kept cool.
Oh yeah. Just like any computer, right? Heat
Oh
is
yeah, well
bad.
yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah, but like my computer doesn't have a cryogenic station.
Well, you don't have a quantum computer either.
What, they get hotter? Yeah, they get hotter, right?
Yeah. Just look up quantum computers, man, on like Google. You find a ton of stuff on them. Maybe we can do that here. Just let me do a quick search for it. I type in quantum. The first thing that comes up is quantum leap. That's funny. Quantum computing. There we go. Let's see. Oh, get started for free. Quantum tools made easy. Uh, find. No, IBM says quantum computing is a rapidly emerging technology that harnesses the laws of quantum mechanics to solve problems too complex for classical computers. So yeah, basically it's going to be stuff basically that only big corporations and here, let me open up this link from IBM. I mean, IBM, everybody knows IBM, right? So I'll go ahead and share that. Now we got to bring it up. There we go. I have no idea what that picture is supposed to be, but cutting edge computer science harnessing the unique qualities of quantum mechanics to solve problems beyond the ability of even the most powerful classical computers. So, like even the supercomputers.
Oh, okay.
The field of quantum computing contains a range of disciplines, including quantum hardware and quantum algorithms. While still in development, quantum technology will soon be able to solve complex problems that supercomputers cannot solve or cannot solve fast enough. Study of subatomic particles, also known as quantum mechanics, reveals unique and fundamental natural principles. Quantum computers harness these fundamental phenomena to compute probabilistically and quantum mechanically. Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, yeah, four key principles of quantum mechanics: superposition, entanglement, decoherence, and interference. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, and I'm sure there's like, let me go up here to the images. We got some images here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna switch screens here. There we go. These are images from our friends over at Google, so make sure they get their credit. It's like, yeah, here's some pictures. No, I wanted to see the picture. There, you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're they're pretty wild.
They look cool.
It's this one.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do with them once you buy them?
I mean, dude, no. Like, if we can buy these, that's decades away, man. If at all. Right. So, like when back in World War II, when computers were the size of a warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're in that stage with them right now. So. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I would look that up if because it's really interesting. Because you look at like the computers in Star Trek, right? In Kirk's era, you had Duotronics.
Yeah.
Next gen, you had Multitronic.
Oh, they switched. I never knew that. I never knew that they switched from that to that. Yeah.
Yeah. They switched. Actually, it was see, the Excelsiors during Kirk's era had Duotronics. The later ones had, even though it was the same basic space frame, like still had, because if you look at the Excelsiors, like the newer Excelsiors, like the Block 2 and a Block 3s, kind of like they do with like Navy ships, right? You got Block 1, Block 2, Block 3, and each block has certain specific upgrades in it, right?
Yeah.
So, and eventually the Excelsior, I think some of the newest Excelsiors got Multitronics in them. And I believe it was like just in a rough sense, it was like the Ambassador class was Multitronic, compared to like the Enterprise B was Excelsior class, so that was Duotronic. The Enterprise C Ambassador class was only 20 some years before TNG, right? So that had like the first versions of Multitronic in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Voyager, which was around even when the Enterprise D was, and that had
Voyager was in 2371.
Yeah. So the Enterprise D was still around, right? When I think when Voyager launched.
I think Generations. I think Voyager was after Generations. Generations, the Enterprise D was destroyed.
Oh, okay. So they might have been on the Enterprise D by that point. But still, Voyager has those neuro gel pack, the neuro packs, like basically living brain cells for the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they wanted to make an AI for Voyager in the very beginning. They wanted to make it an AI, but then they kind of went against it. I don't know why.
And they had, and the funny thing is, they addressed that in. Didn't they address that in Discovery?
Well, yeah. Well, it kind of got an AI.
Like the ship's computer had been left alone for so long that it developed its own consciousness, which is funny because in TNG there was an episode like that where the Enterprise computer became self-aware. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, like, even in TNG, I'm guessing they had AI, or at least AI algorithms, because how else would a computer become self-aware?
Yeah, in TNG they wanted to make it an AI too, but then they didn't go through with it. They kind of hinted at it that the computer was becoming an AI, because remember when Lore came onto the Enterprise and pretended to be Data, right?
Yeah.
He pretended to be Data. He sat down at the station where Data sits, And all of a sudden, the console shuts down. And I guess the console discovered that it wasn't him. It wasn't Data. Shuts down. And then Laura's like banging on the console, right?
Yep.
You know that scene? So
Yeah.
they're kind of hinting that, oh, it's kind of becoming an AI, but then they kind of stopped it for some reason. They didn't go through with it. They didn't go through with it. I don't know why.
There was an actual episode too where the Enterprise computer became self-aware.
What was it? The Barkley episode where he?
No, it wasn't the Barkley episode. It was a different one. I can't remember it for the life of me. I think it's one of the ones I normally skip over when I'm watching old episodes, but I'm just gonna have to sit down and rewatch now, even the ones I don't really care for, because it's probably gonna be in one of those. Which is okay. I mean, why not? It's Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? We'll do this. I'll put my YouTube link and do a couple of chats. I'm in. No, not there. Over here.
Oh, did you hear what happened? Norm, remember Norm from Cheers?
Oh yeah, I was actually, I think I was on Gorilla's stream with you the other night, wasn't I? When we talked about that,
Were you? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen that actor in the longest time.
Oh, George Wendt. Yeah, no, he hadn't acted in anything in a long time.
Yeah, I think the last thing I saw him in was like he was like in an episode of Seinfeld where George went to the studio where they were shooting Cheers, and he ran into the actor and asked him questions, and the actor was just looking at George like he's like he doesn't give a shit about George. He thinks George is like a loser or something. And then there was another episode where Frasier, where you see. Okay, have you ever seen the crossover episodes where certain people from Cheers went on Frasier?
Yeah.
So Ted Danson went on to Frasier, and he was a cool guy. He was a cool guy. He was talking to Frasier. He was having fun with Frasier. And then Norm, there was an episode where Norm came into Frasier's apartment, right? It was an episode where Norm came on, and Norm was just sitting there, or he was standing. He was standing there like a sack of potatoes, and he was like, duh. He didn't.
Oh, that's the one where he looked like super old in it, though, didn't he?
I don't think so. I think he looked the same.
Oh,
but I'm like, he was just standing there. He didn't say nothing, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of boring, but whatever. And that's it. I didn't bother watching the Frasier sequel series. Did you?
Oh, the reboot? No, I haven't watched it either.
I was pissed off when they moved him from Seattle back to Boston. Like, why?
I don't know.
I liked him in Seattle, right? I liked him in Seattle. That was cool. But then they brought him back because they wanted crossovers with Cheers.
Right, and that's what we were talking about the other night too. I remember this. We were talking about how many of those people from Cheers are actually still alive, right? I mean, yeah, you got Ted Danson, you got Woody Harrelson, you got, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Real Perlman, I guess her name is that Carla, the one that's married to Danny DeVito in real life.
Yeah.
Going back to Norm just standing there, not saying nothing, because I wonder if that was like an inside joke at Morn from DS9, because Morn was a inside Star Trek joke to Norm.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. And because Morn never said nothing, but everybody always complained that he talked all the time.
Yeah.
And because Kelsey Grammer had played on an episode of TNG as Captain Batesman.
Yeah,
Bateman?
Captain
Yeah.
Morgan Bateson.
Yeah. So I wonder if that was like their version of an inside joke to that. So just from the way you describe it.
Yeah. It's too bad we never saw him again. They just made him one appearance and we never saw him again.
Yeah, I loved how they had him in the old style movie era uniforms too. That was awesome. I mean, I know the ship was from that era, but it was still freaking cool to see it on the TNG.
Yeah, he was like from like post Wrath of Khan era or something. They kind of said he was after that.
Yeah, a little bit after that
I mean,
because he was in a Soyuz class, which was a variant of the Miranda class. So yeah.
Yeah, and it had like a big. You still had that big gun on his back, on the ship's back. It had like a rail gun.
Yeah, I saw that. I always thought those were weapons too. But you go and you listen to these other Trek people on YouTube, like go over to Trek Yards. They'll tell you those are not weapons; those are sensors. Very, very big sensor platforms. Yeah, I don't get it either, because they sure as hell look like guns to me.
Yeah,
like you said, big ass rail guns. They're not battleship size rail guns; they are starship size rail guns. But no, I guess they're supposed to be sensor platforms. Those things that actually look like rail guns. So, whether it's the one on top, or the ones on the sides sticking out. I mean, could you imagine, though, if those were weapons, what they could do to like a Klingon fleet or something?
Yeah.
You wouldn't need the heavy cruisers like the Connie or, the other classes they had, or even the like the dreadnoughts that we never saw. Well, never seen on the screen anyway.
Yeah. Did you hear? Like after Strange New Worlds, I think that's Paramount wants to stop doing Star Trek shows.
Well, maybe.
Oh my God! No, please don't let this happen. God, no! Don't let this happen.
What?
They're saying they're saying that they want to stop doing it because they know the fan base is split, right? You got those who like it and those who hate it. So what?
Yeah. Well, that's always been like that with Star Trek. I mean, when TNG came out, my dad, who grew up watching TOS, sat next to me and said, "I'm glad you like it, but this ain't my Star Trek."
Yeah.
Right. My dad was saying that in the 80s. I mean, TNG split the original fans so far down the middle. You had TOS fans that loved it and TOS fans that absolutely hated it, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, that's always been like that with Star Trek. So, yeah, I don't. Even when DS9 came out, you had TNG fans. Some loved it, some hated it. It's on a space station. What the hell happened on a space station?
Yeah, you got the people who were who liked TOS, who saw TNG, and they were like, "Oh, this is too boring." Like, who is this guy? Who is this bald guy? Why is he always talking? Why isn't he an action hero?
Why don't he shoot first and ask questions later? Like,
this bald guy is always talking, and it's boring. It's boring as shit. This whole show is talky. Exactly what steampunk likes. Oh, I like it all PC and all talk, and I'm just like, that's so boring. Why do you want that? Why do you watch that? I don't know.
One thing I will say, TNG, maybe it was, I don't know. I don't even want to call it PC just because it still dealt with the social issues of the day. And if you look at season 1 of TNG, they were doing the exact same thing TOS did. A girl in skimpy outfits every other episode. So Yeah. What? No. That, I mean, not very well. Not very PC by today's standards, or by standards of the mid '80s either. Right when it came out. So
Yeah.
I don't know where steampunk's getting that from. That Star Trek, at least, like, I don't want to say classic Trek, but like prime tech Trek, prime timeline Trek, always dealt with the social issues of the day, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be, like in the '60s, it was a Cold War. Hell, when TNG came out, it was still the Cold War for another few years. So, yeah, and then not only that on a global scale, but issues here at home, on a social scale. Like, let that be your last battlefield from TOS. He had a guy that was black on one side, white on the other, and then the other guy was his white and black were opposite, and they couldn't stand each other just because their colors were reversed. And so,
Yeah.
and that was talking about the issues of racial tension back then. So,
and they ruined it. They ruined it because at the end of that episode, they went back on their planet. They were the last ones, right? They
the very last two. That entire planet destroyed itself. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in section 31, they showed one of them on Georgiou's station, and it was early 24th century. That kind of screwed things up, you know.
Yeah, it's like,
unless you want to say, unless
they lived for like 1,000 years or something. I mean,
yeah. Unless you want to say that was a branch reality that was created when the Guardian sent Georgiou back, you could say that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
They did hint at it that it was a branch reality. They did say something about branch realities.
Well, if Paramount would have been smart, they would have said that Discovery is in a different timeline. But no, they doubled down trying to say it was prime timeline. That's what got all the hardcore Trek fans pissed at them. They're like, no, you can't be doing this shit pre-TOS and say it's in the prime timeline. And then, don't get me wrong, I like Strange New Worlds. It has a couple of very oddball episodes, but overall, I do like that series. I'm still waiting for season 3 to come out, but the way it's going, they keep announcing it, but I never see it. So.
So I want to post this right here from Tachyon Pulse podcast. I don't know if you watch these guys, but one video here says exclusive, the end of Star Trek, right? So it says a Paramount to end Star Trek TV shows. I hope they don't do that. Oh God, please don't do that.
I made you a mod, so if you want to post it in the chat, you can.
Oh God, please no. We already waited 12 years. We've already waited 12 years between Enterprise and Discovery.
Yeah. And we didn't even get any Enterprise movies, which really sucked. Because they could have cleared up so much stuff. They could have done 1 or 2 movies with the Romulan War, but that very last episode of season 4 fucked everything up.
Well, you can thank Les Moonves for that. He was the one who canceled.
I know, right when it was at the height of his popularity, too.
Yeah, dude. You know why he did that? Because he didn't. Number one, he didn't like it, and number two, he said, "Well, like reality shows at the time were popular." So he said, why spend money on expensive science fiction when we can make reality shows? The reality shows are cheap to make. They're cheap to make. You don't need no special effects. You just need people, and and then they get lots of money for basically giving nothing, right? That's what reality shows are. They're basically nothing, and they get lots of money because they're so popular. Why? I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can post stuff into YouTube or the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
No, I put it. I already put it in there for you. So.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm a little bit lost here. So yeah, I hope this is not the case because I don't know. I was always hoping that after because everyone online are like saying, "Oh my God, when are we going to get Star Trek Legacy?" And I'm like, first of all, how do you know it's going to be called Star Trek Legacy? Right?
Well, they've been floating that name around for a while. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where do they get that from?
I mean,
like,
that and there's going to be licensing problems with it because there's a PS2 game called Star Trek Legacy.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
No,
I mean,
it was for the Xbox. It was for the
yeah,
Xbox.
Yeah, it's on PS2 also.
Oh really? Oh
yeah. I think it was on. Yeah, because I got a PS2 copy of it. But yeah, I think it was on. Was it? No, yeah, I've seen a 360 version of it online too. So.
Well, that was a good game. It was like it was about like a Vulcan lady who went insane in in like Archer's time. She went insane, and then she started. I don't know what she was doing. She was doing something weird, and yeah, she went through the eras because the Vulcans live incredibly long time, right? So
yeah, like 200 and some odd years.
Yeah, 200 and something years, and yeah, so she went from Archer's time to Kirk's time to Picard's time, and then she assimilated herself. She joined the Borg, right? She joined the Borg
because she didn't want to die, or what?
No, because she wanted to bring peace to the universe, and she thought, "Oh, okay, I'll just do this."
We'll join the Borg. I'll bring my logic to them. Yeah, let's see how that worked out for you.
Yeah, and it didn't really work out well for her. I mean, in the end, everybody teamed up on her and the Borg and just blew them all up. So it didn't work out.
What did you think about basically the Borg storyline coming to an end in Picard?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't like that, right? Because they were like, oh, we like the Borg. The Borg is a really creepy villain. And I'm like, yeah, I like the Borg too, because the Borg didn't, the problem with TNG was, right? Like, Picard could talk to everybody. He could use his words to defuse anything and everything. And that was not very good entertainment, right?
Well, to be fair, Kirk did do it a few times instead of just firing. So, I mean, if you look at the one TOS episode, I'm gonna get so much crap from my TOS friends out there, but the episode where it's the one where Kang goes aboard the Enterprise. Oh, Day of the Dove, I think it's called. Day of the Dove, I believe is the episode.
Oh, yeah, season 3 episode?
Yeah, and Kang, I think Kirk winds up severely damaging his ship or something, and then Kang and his people come on over to the Enterprise, and then they wind up fighting, but this alien entity takes away like all the energy weapons, and all they have are like swords and shit. And then Kirk talks to Kang and says, it feeds on our fear. Let's not show it any fear, that type of stuff. And they wind up driving the alien away. And yeah, so.
Yeah, I was a always wondering why they were using swords. Like Klingons, so they have energy weapons. They shouldn't. And these guys are like Vikings are using swords.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Klingons sharpen their teeth before battle. They don't care if they got a disruptor or. I mean, do you see the swords they carry on them? They carry those Doc Tangs and the Batless, and they would rather kill somebody with a blade than fire a disruptor, because to them that is combat. So I'll be right back, bud. Hold on a second.
All right. See, I never understood why Klingons would use a Batleth or a sword to fight rather than a disruptor. Any normal, intelligent person would use a disruptor. You don't want to get your hands dirty or your teeth punched out, right? So you'd rather use a disruptor to vaporize your enemies.
Oh yeah.
Anybody would. Any intelligent person would.
Yeah, but Klingons live for battle.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least the warriors. Because you got to remember, not every Klingon really is a warrior. I mean, because you still got your lawyers and your warp theorists, and you got to have, like on DS9, you got to have the fat Klingon that runs the restaurant, right?
Yeah, but I think even the ones who are lawyers could kick ass too. I think that they can all kick ass. They're not all warriors, but they can all kick ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're all taught how to fight and everything like that at a young age, like Worf was saying.
Yeah,
but not all of them go into the Klingon Defense Force, right?
No.
I love talking about this kind of stuff. What else were you? What else is rolling around in that brain of yours, Daniel? I know you got some hot topics.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like you think that it's cool that Vulcans can live 200 and something years, right? Well, Ferengis, they live over 300 years. That is super cool.
What? No, wait, hold on. Whoa. Where did you find this one out at? Because I've never heard of this.
I read it. I think I read it somewhere on a Ferengi page that Ferengi live over 300 years.
Well, Klingons live over 200 years too.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, because you had Kang, Koloth, and Kolos, right? Yeah, and the three of them were on DS9.
Yeah.
Even though they were in TOS, right? So,
but I'm just like, oh my god, 300 years. That is so cool. That would mean Quark would be able to reach like the 27th century.
I take that back. Kang, Kolos, and Kor, because the guy that played Baltar in the original Battlestar Galactica, John Colicos, played Kor in TOS and on DS9. So, and on TOS, it was the episode where Kirk and Spock were on Organia, and that's where we got the Organian peace treaty from.
Yeah.
Because I remember in Trials and Tribulations, when the Defiant goes back in time, Jadzia Dax said, "Oh, but it's Koloth. I wish I could see him in his prime." And Sisko's like, "Nope, come on."
Yeah, you can't do that. I don't know.
Yeah, nope. Oh, he won't recognize me. Nope. Can't take the chance. because she was saying she remembered him talking about how he encountered Kirk at a deep space station, and they just happened to be at that point in time.
Yeah. I love that episode where they went back to trials with tribbles or something.
Trials
Oh,
and Tribulations, yeah. Basically, it took place during the TOS episode, The Trouble with Tribbles. So
I heard that Shatner didn't like that episode because they didn't pay him nothing. They used him. They used him, but they didn't pay him anything.
they don't have to. They own the property.
Yeah, I know that, but like they were using his likeness. They were using him.
No, it's
And
not okay. It's not like they made an AI version of him.
No, I know.
Right.
Yeah.
No. All they did was took clips from that episode and wove it in with the DS9 episode. That's all they did. They didn't redo anything. They didn't. Yeah. So yeah, his claims are false and baseless and based on greed.
Yeah.
And narcissism. That's all his claims are based on for that.
But like, doesn't he have enough money as it is? And doesn't he get royalties from the other stuff that he makes? I think so, yeah.
How about this? He's a Canadian. That made it big time.
Yeah.
What about that? Ain't that enough for him?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You never heard of Alex P. Keaton. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, Marty, you never heard my brain is being stupid. The guy the guy that played Marty. What was his name? Marty
Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, Michael J. Fox. You never heard him complaining, did you?
No.
No.
What, is he Canadian?
Yes, I always thought he was.
What, he was? Oh.
I thought so.
I know Jim Carrey's Canadian.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, Alan Thicke. Yeah, there's a few Canadians that made it big in Hollywood. Everybody talks about the British invasion. Shit, we got the Canadian invasion.
Yeah.
I love my Canadian brothers and sisters. To me, I live in Michigan, so to me, it's like the border is almost pointless to me, because so much of us are just the same as so much of you guys, right? So.
Yeah.
I mean, but I get it, national pride, this, that, and the next thing, but and sovereignty of the countries and all that. I wish it could go back to the way it was, like when I was a little kid or before he was even born, where we didn't even need passports, to go back and forth. All you had to do is say, "Oh yeah, I'm just going here for today, whatever," or going here to do this for a day, stay the night, whatever, come back tomorrow, and they were cool with it, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, you got to have all these stupid checkpoints and truck dogs on both sides and interrogation. It's like, Jesus fuck, man. I mean, I get it in today's world, but it still sucks. What else were you thinking of there, buddy?
Uh, I'm not sure. No. Well, I was talking about like I was hoping that you know we were gonna get like that. Well, I don't know what it's gonna be called, but a show with Captain Seven of Nine, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because at the end of Picard, she got promoted to captain. Finally,
I hope they destroyed. I did hear something like, okay, a lot of people were upset, right, because they made the Titan A the Enterprise G, and a lot of
yeah,
people were
yeah.
upset. They were like, oh, well, why did you recycle that ship and make it the Enterprise? It's so lazy.
Well,
Why
wait. If you look at the design of it, though, it is the classic Starfleet design: two nacelles, saucer section, and engineering hull, right?
Yeah, but it's a survey vessel. It's not even. It's like it's nothing special.
Well, it got completely refitted before she took command. I don't know if people just didn't pay attention to that or if they left it out to fit their narrative, but they completely refit that vessel. So
yeah, I assumed they did, but
no, they even said it in a show before when they were handing it over.
They did?
Yes.
I gotta watch it again. Yeah, because it was there for over a year, right? So it was in space dock for over a year.
For over a year, yeah. So you can't tell me they didn't refit that thing and upgrade it, and
Yeah, but you can't tell me that thing is more powerful than the Enterprise F. That thing, the Enterprise F was like a Titanic in space or something.
Well, the Enterprise F is actually based off of the Odyssey class in Star Trek Online. So
yeah.
Which actually was designed by a fan of Star Trek Online that won a contest.
Exactly. We should have gotten that and renamed it. No, that would have been nice.
Well, no, I think after that Borg attack, they had to decommission the F, didn't they?
Yeah, why? Like, it was upgraded by the Borg. It was upgraded by the Borg, basically, right?
Yeah, and plus it was 20, 30 some years old at that point, I thought.
Yeah. I hope, like, you don't think the Titan A destroyed it, right? You don't think it destroyed it, right?
No, because they had that was all on screen in Picard during that episode. So
yeah, but they were firing all over the place. We don't know if it hit. I thought maybe it hit the Enterprise and it probably blew it up or something.
Well, no, what happened was that Jean-Luc came through with the Enterprise D, well, at least the engineering section of the Enterprise D, with another Galaxy class saucer that Geordi put together. Or don't you remember watching that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were using the Enterprise D because it was like the only ship they had that was operational.
But they didn't upgrade it.
That wasn't susceptible to the Borg algorithm that was taking everything over.
Yeah, but they didn't upgrade it. It was just like they just built another. Like,
no, okay, I take that back. It was the Enterprise D saucer that they salvaged, but it was the engineering section of another Galaxy class ship. So, whatever ship that was,
built a new one.
No. They said it in the episode. Geordi said we recovered the saucer and rebuilt it, and we reused the engineering section of a hull of another ship.
Oh. Yeah, but they didn't upgrade it. It was just basically.
Oh, Geordi upgraded it as best as he could, right? But you got to remember, since he was running that museum, he only had limited parts and supplies and stuff.
Yeah.
There's only so much he could get out of the mothball fleet.
Yeah, but it was like you said, he didn't upgrade it because then like all the ships are like tied together, right? So
right, yeah, they're all networked together. Yeah, just like it, which kind of struck me as funny because that was in BSG. That was Adama's whole thing. No, we're not going to have any network computers on this ship, because of the Cylon War, right? We all know what happens when you network computers together. They talk to each other. and yeah, so basically that's why Geordi didn't do it. He wanted it to be he wanted to be as faithful and original to the the Enterprise D as it was when she was in service, right?
Yeah.
Even though they had engineering hull or secondary hull, however you want to say it, from another starship, because the Enterprise D's engineering hull was destroyed, obviously. So it was destroyed in what generations? I think it was. Yeah. So he kept it to the specs of the time that it was in service, which was a good thing, because if he would have upgraded it, the Borg would have been able to hack into it and make it do shit nobody wanted it to do, right? Just like with the Cylons and the Colonial Fleet in Battlestar Galactica. The remake BSG, I should say. So I like to draw parallels like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they weren't intending to do it, I my brain latches on to stuff like that. But what were you thinking though?
Wait, what were we talking about? Sorry, what? I conked out for a second there.
Oh no.
Oh, the ships.
Yeah.
All right. See, I was worried that maybe somehow they blew up the Enterprise F, or they. I'm like, oh no, don't tell me. But if it's in mothballs, if it's in the mothball fleet, if it's like in the museum, I would like that. I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Well. See, the thing is, it was an active starship. It was the active Enterprise at the time of that episode. I don't think it was destroyed. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it being destroyed, because remember Commander Shelby from TNG when
oh yeah, she's still hot.
Yep, she was actually the captain of the Enterprise F, right? So
yeah.
And she got taken over by the Borg. Poetic justice.
She was killed by the Borg. I'm like, oh, it's so sad,
Well, she was on the bridge. She was on the bridge of the Enterprise F. So I don't know. I got to go back and rewatch the episode because it's been so long. But she might have got killed. I'm not sure, but I don't think they actually destroyed the Enterprise F. I mean, I think it got damaged so much to the point to where they had to decommission it, but I don't think it got destroyed.
Like, why do they have to?
Because
it got like the Romulans did something to it, like infected one of its computers or something.
No, it got taken over by the Borg and Picard. Remember?
Oh, I know that, but before it was decommissioned. Before that, right?
Oh yeah, like once, but they brought it back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, well, why don't they just fix it, right? But no, they had to decommission it. Like, you can fix it, right?
But yeah, but by then it was like 20, 30 years old. And like they said in Star Trek 3, there will be, what did the head of Starfleet operations or whatever, the CNC say to Scotty, there will be no refit. She's well past her prime. So, yeah. And also, if they wouldn't have done that, then basically they would have to either commission one of the ships they had just built as the Enterprise, whatever class that might have been. But they, like you said, they went and chose to make the Titan A the Enterprise G, which is the one that they gave the 7 of 9.
Yeah, and it's like a small survey that, unless they upgraded it, but.
I mean, you say small, but I think the thing is like at least the size of the Enterprise A, at least.
Yeah.
If not the size of like the B. So, because if you look at it, it's got that same movie era aesthetic to it. It really does.
Yeah. It'll have like one holodeck that doesn't work. It's stuck.
Oh, that's a TNG trope. That's why they did that shit. That's a TNG trope. That's why they put that in there. The holodecks never work. Just like the starboard power couplers always the first thing to fucking go down in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, I hope they fix that thing. No, I think they should have fixed it by now.
Well, yeah, I hope they replace the machine that makes them. Because it doesn't matter how many times I replace it, the thing always fails.
I love that. I love the holodeck, you know? Like, didn't they say that everything inside there is real? As long as it's inside there, it's real?
Well, now you're getting into some philosophical ground there.
Yeah, you know, like as long as it's in there, it's real because energy and matter are interchangeable. And
right?
stuff.
Yeah, because it's based on transporter technology, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it takes energy, it transforms it into matter. So, therefore, as long as it's on the holodeck, it is real.
So basically, you can sleep with a holodeck woman, and she's real in there.
Yeah, in there, yeah. But don't forget the episode where one of the episodes, boss, what's his name, tried to go out and then he just started disappearing from the bottom up, which was kind of
Cyrus Redblock.
Yeah, and then you get characters like Moriarty that Data created. Oh, poor Moriarty. I wonder. Oh, I'd like to see an episode with him in it because I bet you they didn't keep him inside that computer block. Remember when they trapped him inside there?
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
You know what? I think the one from Picard is like the one from Elementary Dear Data, but not the one from what do you call the episode from A Ship in a Bottle? It's not that one.
Yeah, no.
It's basically another variant. It's a variant of him that didn't meet the Countess because the Countess really did screw things up, in my opinion.
It did. She really did. It was like, why the fuck do you even need her for that episode? You don't.
And you know, Moriarty was supposed. I heard Moriarty was supposed to be on Voyager. He was supposed to be on Voyager. He was supposed to be one of the main characters. You know, like he was supposed to be the one causing trouble. You know, on Voyager, like, you know, he would have been the badass.
Yeah, but then you would have had to go into the whole backstory about how did they get him off of the Daystrom Institute into the Voyager to begin with. Because somebody would have had to physically taken that computer block, right, out of Daystrom Institute, which is one of the most heavily locked down facilities in Starfleet, next to Cold Station 12 or whatever. So I'm kind of glad they didn't do that because that would have opened up so many inconsistencies.
Yeah, that, you know, like the character from the Doctor was based on Moriarty.
What, the Mark One? Oh,
yeah. Well, you know, they couldn't get Moriarty in there. They wanted to, so they created the Doctor instead.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
and I'm just like, no, you know, that's nice that, you know, it's nice that Moriarty inspired the Doctor, but I would have liked to have seen Moriarty because he's like one of those badass characters from history. You know that he would have caused trouble. You know that he would have been like, think about it. When the Vidians would have been invading Voyager, right? He would have been probably shooting and killing the Vidians, right? Because he'd be killing them. He'd be like killing them, being badass, you know, with his revolver, you know.
Yeah. With its holographic bullets. Safety program off. Or safety protocols off. Yeah, there you go.
But they didn't do that. You know? That's so sad. But you never know. They could do something like that for a new show if they make a new show, right?
Well,
they could bring him on the new Enterprise and say, "Oh, he's here," you know, and have him, you know.
Well, yeah, if it's later in time, yeah, I'm sure they could. If they could reprogram him, because when they put him in that little trap, he was still intent on taking over the world and the universe. So, I mean, good luck with that.
I don't think he cares about taking over the world or the universe. Or maybe the world, but I don't think the universe.
Well, yeah, because he knew exactly what the Enterprise was and what it was capable of, and his ambitions grew. So, yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a hell. He could be a hell of a villain character, right? If they ever brought him back.
Yeah.
So I
But,
think
like,
for sure as a villain character, but not somebody helping out the crew. No, I don't see that.
like, I don't get it when people say take over the universe. How is that even possible? You know how big the universe is.
Well, the galaxy. He's from the 18th century, right, or the 19th century. So I mean, to him, the universe is everything outside of Earth, basically, right? So, but yeah, I mean, because he still uses 19th century vernacular, even though he knows he's on a starship in the 24th century. When they caught him. So, and he even found a way to take over the ship's computer from the holodeck for crying out loud. So, I mean, just think about it.
They never
he would
explained
be.
Yeah, they never explained that, right?
They kind of did, but they skirted around it a lot.
Like,
yeah.
How many years has it been from Elementary Dear Data to Ship in a Bottle? Let's see. What, like 5 years?
Was it that long?
Yeah, like 5 years. Like, from season 2 to season 6.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
4 or 5 years. And he did claim that nothing happened, but bullshit. Like he was doing stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's actually episodes where people ask the holodeck characters that are conscious, do you feel anything when you're offline? And one of them said, I don't know. I think they even asked, well, no, they didn't ask Vic Fontaine that because they always kept him running 24/7. But no, Vic Fontaine said even when he's offline, he's just living his life. So
yeah, because like the computer is still on, right?
Yeah, the computer's still on, and
yeah,
his process is running in the background, so it's like he's still living his life, right?
He's still the holodeck characters are still having adventures, even if they're offline and we don't see them.
Right, yeah. At least that's what they said in DS9. So,
well, it makes sense because if the computer's still working and the programs are in there, they're still going about their daily lives in their world.
Right, even though right. It's just like a background Windows process. Just because we don't see it happening, don't mean it's not happening.
Yeah.
So just because we don't see it in front of us, like in our case on the screen, or in their case on a 3D holographic grid, yeah. So
yeah, it's kind of like when you leave town. Does town disappear? Everybody's still living their lives, even though you don't see them, right?
Right. Just because we can't see it and we don't care, don't mean nothing ain't there and it's not happening. Oh, that's a good point. See, these are the conversations I like, Daniel. Thank you. That's stuff to get you thinking, right?
Yeah, because I've been like, I'm always wondering, like, what do you think Moriarty's been doing for the past 4 or 5 years in his world? Like I just like to imagine maybe he's having, criminal escapades. He's doing stuff and, what's his name, Sherlock Holmes and his partner, forgot his name, Watson, is after him, right after Moriarty, trying to foil Moriarty. All that cool stuff. Because, like, you know what? It's weird. In Ship in a Bottle, Moriarty works in the same building as Sherlock Holmes, right? He works in the same building.
Wait, did they work in the same building? I haven't read the actual book, so I'm not sure. Did they?
I don't think so. I never read. I always thought that Moriarty was a rogue. He was causing trouble, and Sherlock Holmes was after him. Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, because he was like a doctor, obviously a doctor of some sorts, but he like you said, he went rogue and he started these like evil villainous plans. Yeah, and Sherlock Holmes was the one to track him down, and yeah,
and I'm like in Ship in a Bottle, they work in the same building, so I'm thinking, wow, like who knows, like what happened between in these last 4 or 5 years, because now they work in the same building.
Well, Sherlock Holmes works at Scotland Yard. That much we do know. So unless Moriarty worked at Scotland Yard as some type of scientist, I mean, I don't know. Because we do know that Moriarty was very highly educated. So, and obviously of outstanding stature, because of the top hat and the upper middle class Victorian clothes he was wearing. So. Which they did a really good job of portraying on the show.
Yeah. They had two episodes with Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes, but they only had one episode with Dixon Hill. Right?
No, I thought they had two.
Yeah. Unless you want to count that episode where they were kind of in the holodeck, and I think Picard was in there.
Well, I know you had The Big Goodbye, which is one everybody remembers.
Yeah.
But I thought there was another one too.
Yeah, I think it was like in season 4, season 5 that like Guinan and Picard were in the holodeck, and like I think they were in Dixon Hill's office, and then there was this guy who got shot through the window.
Yep.
He got shot through the window, and then he fell dead. And the people who did it ran away with the car. They ran away with the car. We didn't see them. And then Picard said, "Oh, this is a mystery."
Oh, a mystery. Yeah, and he got all excited. Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's it. That's all we saw of this episode. That's all we saw. Like, they never went back there ever again. They never went back there. They just went outside the holodeck and had some story in the 24th century, right?
Yeah, because there was they had some big crisis. Yeah, in the real life 24th century, and I want to say they did at the end, but I don't remember it. So I think you're right. I think all we saw was like that beginning part of it, and then that was it. So, but just technically it was in 2 episodes. The Dixon Hill. So.
Yeah. I wish we saw more of it, though.
What was that episode where all the holodeck characters started to turn into Data, and Worf was stuck on the holodeck with Alexander?
It was called A Fistful of Datas.
Fistful of Datas, yeah. And it was in the Wild West. You had one of them was acting like Doc Holliday, and the other one was that was cool. I like that.
That was fun. That was like a season 6 episode.
Yeah, it was pretty. It had Alexander, so yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. There's a game on Xbox that got ported from mobile. It's called Star Trek Legends. You can actually.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a cell phone game, but it got ported over to the Xbox. Because they're talking about like Captain Kalar, and I'm like, Kalar, she fucking died in TNG. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Ambassador Kalar. Yeah, but they got like all the Star Trek characters from all the series. So it's kind of like Star Trek timelines, right? But it's different.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek Timelines has all the characters and all the ships from all the different series. I haven't played Legends yet. I might just download it on my phone to see what it's like, because you got to pay for it on Xbox, which I understand why, because it's, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to. It's like $20 right now for the version with everything, and like 15 for the base version. I put it on on Xbox you can have a wish list, so that way I'll know if it goes on sale or not. If I can get it for like $2 or $3, yeah, I'll buy it. I'm not gonna pay no freaking $20. Not for a not for a cell phone port. No, thank you.
Yeah, no. Cell phone games are like they're not really developed. They're not like console games or computer games, you know. So they're like less developed.
Yeah, they are, and yeah, I mean, I played some cell phone games on a computer, and there's no comparison. It's like, no, I'll stick to this on my phone, thank you.
Yeah.
I still can't believe I got Battlefield 5 Definitive Edition for like $2.50 plus tax.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's a good price for a game.
Yeah, I told you that. Excuse me. Yeah, when we first started. Oh, excuse me. I got my hoodie on. I'm still sneezing. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it was pretty cold in the last couple of days, wasn't it? It was cold here.
Yeah, then barely in the 60s.
Yeah, it's springtime. It's springtime, and yet it's so cold.
We've already had 80. We've already had 80 here, like last week. So yeah, this is. I mean, I know it's. And now it's nighttime, and it's like, I don't know, where's my phone at here? What is it right now? It's like 40 out right now. Plus, I'm up here in this apartment that's like super warm. So I got the cold air coming into this like super warm apartment. It's like,
oh man, I wish, remember that apartment I told you back in 2019 that I really wanted, but I didn't get?
Yeah, you told me about it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that apartment was so awesome. I wish I could show you that apartment. It was beautiful. It was portable. There was nobody underneath, nobody on top, nobody to the sides. It was nice. It was right next to the woods. It was just really, really awesome. Like inside, it was beautiful. Though, like when you open the door, the kitchen is right there. Then there's a hallway. There's like a bathroom right in the middle of the hallway.
Yep.
And then, there's like a place where you can put a bed and your TV, and there's a little closet. And it was really good. But the reason, another person got that apartment. You know why? Because on that day, I had to go into town to sign the papers for that apartment. The car broke down. On that day. On that fucking day.
How far was town?
Oh my God. It was like 45 minutes away.
Oh shit. Yeah. No walking there.
Yeah. So like when the car took it took so long to fix, right? It took all morning to fix. By the time I got into town, it was like 4:45 p.m. And that other person signed the papers hours before.
Yeah, probably before lunchtime. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he or she, whoever it was, got the apartment. And, I just, fuck. Right on the day I needed to sign the papers. That was like one of the most important days of my life. And the car breaks down. Why couldn't it break down before? Like a day before or the day after?
No, I was going to say the day after, because you'd have already been there.
Yeah, the day after. But no, it had to break down right there. It was like the universe didn't want me to get that apartment and caused a problem.
Why though? I mean, because you've been at home ever since then, right?
Yeah. But I was just like, it sucks, I love that apartment. It was beautiful. It was so nice. And the sad thing is I have an appointment with some lady who wants to ask me a bunch of questions, and I have to give her my social security card, my ID, and I have to have a signed letter from my doctor. And
that sounds sus right off rip, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. That sounds suspect right off.
Yeah.
Rip.
In order for them to find me, another apartment. And I'm like thinking, God damn it.
Wait, are these government people trying to set you up, or?
No. Yeah, these are government people. These are
Yes.
government people trying to find me an apartment.
Right. Okay.
And I'm just like, I didn't have to do this. If I just got that apartment in 2019, I didn't have to do this by now.
Right. No,
But
it makes sense that you said it's government people, right? Because we have housing programs here, like through the state, right? That's funded by the federal government. So yeah, okay. So the Social Security card, I didn't realize you guys had those in Canada. I thought that was just like a U.S. thing, but it makes sense though for your tax purposes. So yeah, so you got your tax ID, basically your province ID, I'm guessing, or is it a national ID? I don't know what you guys got. But,
I don't know. I think it's like a province ID or something. But shit. The thing is, like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do this if I
yeah, like 6 years ago, no, you didn't have to do that because you were going to rent from a private person.
Yeah.
But now, since you're working with the government, yeah, you got to show all that stuff. Yeah, that kind of goes with the territory, Daniel.
You know what I'm worried?
Sucks, but yeah.
Well, you know what I'm worried about is sometimes the people I'm talking to, sometimes people they could screw things up for me, you know, for whatever reason. That's what I'm worried about. You know, they could screw things up for me, and I don't know. You know, I'm just worried. I don't trust people anymore, man. I really don't trust
dude,
people.
I'm right there with you. I don't trust nobody, but nobody. Trust me, I don't. It's what we call Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law. If the worst thing can happen, it's gonna freaking happen. That's why you always prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah.
It's the only way you're not gonna get this, or well, at least you're not gonna get as disappointed if shit goes south. But yeah, I get you, bud. I totally get you. I do. I totally understand, you know, where you're coming from.
Yeah, I have to see this person on the 28th, and I'm going to have to explain my entire personal history to this person. And I'm like, oh, first of all, I'm not really good at that. You know, I'm not really good at that.
What do you mean by personal history?
Oh, I'm going to have to explain my entire personal history and this, that.
Oh, like, are you a drunk? Are you a druggie? Do you have anger issues? Do you have this? You have that? That sounds more like a psychologist than somebody trying to find you someplace to rent.
Yeah. And just like, you know, and
I mean, at least here, all they do is run your criminal background, right? I mean, because to get on the government housing stuff here, like you can't, number one, you can't be a SA person, right? And you know what SA is. And number two, you can't be like any domestic violences or stuff like that.
Yeah,
those are the two that'll get you off. Yeah, they won't help you either way. And the third one is, I think the third one is drugs.
Yeah.
So as long as you ain't got them three, at least here, then you're fine.
No, but you know what I'm worried about is, like, if I go to see this person, they might like. Well, actually, no. I think I want to talk about this off air because I don't want to explain all of this on the air.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, we can talk about it.
Let me just say I'm a little bit nervous, and let me tell you, I don't trust people anymore after what I've been through. I went through some serious shit, some really serious shit.
I know you told me a couple of stories, and they were pretty, yeah. So,
and I'm like, you know, I've been thinking about this all day. Like, I didn't have to do this if I just got that apartment in 2019. But nope, the car had to break down on that exact day.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
It just sucks. It sucks. It really does.
I know. Well, you know what? Since it's just us two hanging out, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Is there anything you want to promote, Daniel?
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Okay. Well, I am Jay from Sci-Fi Nation. Welcome to the new Sci-Fi Nation channel. We're getting
before we go,
yeah.
I gotta say this. Have you ever seen? Okay, I think I posted this on his Discord. Michio Kaku is talking about, like, you know who Michio Kaku is?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know who. Yeah.
World-renowned physicist.
No, yeah, I've seen him on YouTube stuff. So yeah, I know exactly who he is.
I think I posted a few videos on him on the Discord.
Well, I used to watch him on Ancient Aliens too. So yeah, I know.
Yeah. And well, first of all, do you believe in that stuff?
You know, they make a good argument. I can't. You know, they make a good argument for it. That's all I can say about it.
It's awesome. So like, yeah. So he was talking about like colonizing Mars first of all, and how it would work. And then the really pretty lady that was interviewing him got straight into like the multiverse idea because that really interests her. And he gave a really interesting speech on how it works. And he believes it. By the way, he believes it.
I know he does. I think I know the speech. I think I've heard this one that you're talking about.
Yeah. So he basically he teaches this to his students, and like every class he says, we exist in a multiverse, get used to it. That's one of the things he says to his students. But like he says, like every time he looks in the mirror, he thinks he imagines he's looking at like thousands of versions of himself. Right? Yep. He thinks that, he says that we exist next to thousands and thousands of versions of ourselves, but we don't see them because they're on a different frequency.
Yep, and there's actually a TNG episode like that too. The one where Worf, he started out going to a Batla tournament, and then when he comes back, he's not on the right Enterprise, and they wind up finding out that he's in a different reality. And at the end of it, all these different Enterprises start popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's actually a TNG episode about that. It's really cool.
So I like that idea. I really like that idea. And that's why I love listening to Michio Kaku. He's just so cool,
And his talking voice is just so awesome. I can listen to him for hours.
Yeah.
He just has one of those voices that I can listen to for hours, right? It just, yeah. He has such a good speaking voice.
He's awesome, right? He's just so cool. And can I share screen something?
Yeah.
Remember when I talked to you about Olivia and Catherine, the two girls I used to see in the early 2000s?
Oh yeah, yep.
And okay, so Olivia's married. I really liked Olivia. She's married now. She was so into me, man. There are no pretty girls who are into me, but she was. But back in those days, I was kind of I didn't like them very much because I like the white girls, right? Back in those days.
Well.
Yeah. Well, that was me back then, right? And she really liked me. I told you she was the one that was lying on my lap, right? I fell asleep in the basement, and then I woke up. I looked to the side, she wasn't there. I looked down, she was lying in my lap, right? And girls don't do that unless they like you.
Yeah, unless they trust you.
Yeah. And I just didn't know what to do at that time, right? I didn't know what to do. I couldn't ask her on a date because first of all, I didn't like her like that. And second of all, I didn't have any money, right? I couldn't drive. I still can't drive. I don't drive.
Well, apparently it didn't matter to her. She was still hanging out with you.
Yeah. But then, years later, she went to college or university, and then she met some guy, and then she got married, right? And she has 3 kids now, right?
Well, so, that's what you get for letting her slip away, Daniel.
But what was I supposed to do?
Snatch that shit up, wife it up. Wife it up quick.
Yeah, and just, oh boy, I don't know.
You know why? Because that is the type of girl that would have helped you no matter the struggles, she would have helped you succeed no matter what, Daniel.
Yeah. So it sucks, you know? And see, okay, you see this here?
Hold on. Yep. Here we go. Okay. It's kind of small, but yeah, I see the picture.
All right, so right here, the one on the
The one on the right. Yeah.
Right, that's Olivia. That's Olivia.
Wow,
She looks so awesome.
Damn, she almost looks like a model. So does her friend.
Yeah, I know. And I let that one go. I let that one go because I don't know. What can I do?
Dude, I'll slap you for that the next time I see you.
Yeah. And the one on the right, that's Catherine, the one in the pink shirt. You know,
that's on my left on the screen. So yeah, the pink shirt is Catherine. The one in the dark blue shirt is Olivia.
Yeah. So Catherine recently moved out. She moved out. And see, now I can't. I wanted to see her, but she moved out. And she's like in another town. So I'm like, I keep on missing them, man. I keep on missing my opportunities. I don't know. What can I do? I live in the country, man. I live in the country. I'm isolated, and I can't drive.
Well, get yourself a bicycle or some stronger feet, or get you like a little motorcycle that you can zip around in. Because I don't think the Mounties are, you know, you live out in the middle of BFE. I don't think the Mounties are out there that much, right? So,
yeah,
or the province police or whatever. I mean, I know you guys got like probably your city cops and then your province cops and then the Mounties, right? So, which is the equivalent to our city police, our county sheriffs, and then our state police, right? That's you guys got the equivalent. So. But yeah, you just need to redneck that shit. Fuck the dumb shit. Go get you some.
Yeah, I know.
I forget. I know you're younger than me. How old are you?
I'm like 38.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, because I'm 49. So I knew you were younger than me. Yeah, your age, bud. Holy shit! I'd be fighting any way I could. I'd be.
Everybody my age has had some, you know.
Well, I've had lots of some. That's besides the point. But then again, I'm not afraid to go do what I gotta do. I'm from Michigan, right? I was born in the backwoods, and I grew up half in the country and half in the city. So I got, you know, smarts for dealing with stuff out in the country and in the city. A lot of people ain't got that. Plus, I got some book smart. So, I mean, maybe I'm in a little more unique position than some. But if you're ready, I can take this off air and then we can talk, buddy, if you want.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Hey, I'm Jay from Sci-Fi Nation, and you know what? It's a rough world out there. Let's take care of each other. I'll see you next time at Sci-Fi Nation. Wave goodbye, everybody. Bye. Bye. I'm trying to find something to play. I don't know if it will. Hey. I don't know if it's going to play. You got all Vulcan going crazy over here because I ain't looking at the camera. All right, let's start your video.
I can't figure that. Oh my god.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Keep firing, assholes!
See you, everybody.